Nation, and welcome back to the Coaches Weeklies for this season of Cougar men's basketball. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network, and joining me once again is head coach of that team, Rashawn Searles. Coach, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, nice to have you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and Coach, your team coming off of a big week, started out conference play in the NAC and started out 2-0 in NACtion, picking up a 63-56 win over Edgewood, and then a 57-54 win in Rockford. And just to get your initial thoughts off the board, how important is it to start conference 2-0 and pick up those early wins?
Oh, it's very important. I think, the faster you can start out the gate, the less pressure it is towards the back half of conference. And that's something that we've had to deal with the last couple of years where, you get to that home stretch and, every single possession, every game, matters 10 times more. And I think being able to start off a little quicker will be helpful down the stretch.
Absolutely, and it is a 2-0 start, big wins against Edgewood at home and then Rockford on the road. And in both of those games, you were led by Darian Willens in scoring, picking up double digits in both of those games. And is he really kind of evolving into that offensive leader for your team this year?
I think he is. Seeing his progression over the years is just a natural, just the natural next step for him. I think he's been great since he's been here, and he's played his role, and now, his role is asking him to do more for this team, especially while a lot of these younger guys continue to find their footing and get their rhythm, and even some of the newer guys. So I think he's taking it upon himself to be more aggressive and be the guy that kind of gets this team going and kickstart it from tip.
Yeah, and with you mentioned there newcomers, a lot of young guys, a lot of new players. That's been something you can see watching y'all's games so far this season. A lot of bench rotation, a lot of different players coming in and having an impact. It feels like every game there's someone else who's stepping up and making some big plays and putting up some big numbers that didn't the game before, and that's been good to see. So as you start to, get towards the end of that first phase of the season, who are some of those names who you've really seen step up and you expected to play a bigger role as the season goes on?
Honestly, our depth, 1 through 12, 1 through 13, each game could call for somebody different. And so I would say all of them equally. I know there's a couple I have in mind that I think will make bigger, more significant jumps. I think Sebastian Hills is a kid that can really give us a lot of firepower. And I think, Honore Youngwa is still a guy that can really help balance the entire rotation. I think A.J. Willard is another one that we would like to get going a little bit more. He's always been our energy guy, the guy that kind of initiates runs, and we gotta be able to find more minutes for him. But those are some guys. And then, coming back, we got Carter Privet, who will be in the picture here soon, and Carson Knowles. So really our entire rotation is, we got depth. And so everyone can add value in one way or another. And, each game will call for somebody different.
Absolutely, and you'll get a chance to kind of toy around with that a bit more as you head into those Christmas break games. Couple conference games, couple non-con games. Starting out, tonight, not Christmas break yet, but your team is heading down the street for the Division Street rivalry, taking on Dominican University at Dominican tonight at 7. And then over break, you've got games against Adrian, North Park, and then finishing it off with Wisconsin Lutheran. So 2 non-conference games, and then back into the NAC.
Yep.
So as you head into kind of that stretch, it's a 4-game stretch, but over a lot of days, so not too packed in there. What are some of the goals you're looking to knock off?
We want to continue to win in conference. You got to win the ones in conference that you can get, and then still a couple that you're not supposed to. And so we want to stack these wins. Being able to get Dominican a rivalry game would be huge, especially being that this is probably Dominican's best team since I've been here. So, it would be nice to go get that one, especially on their floor. And then even versus Wisconsin Lutheran, that's a team we've yet to beat since I've been here. So being able to go get those 2 games. And then for the 2 non-conference games, we just want to be able to fix mistakes and continue to compete, especially against some of these other conferences, see where we stack up versus conferences like the CCIW, et cetera. And we want to give guys opportunities to make mistakes, but correct those mistakes, and then get in the game and actually apply what they've learned from those mistakes.
Absolutely, Coach. And like we mentioned, Cougars They're back in action tonight in that big rivalry game against Dominican at 7 o'clock. You'll be able to follow everything you need about that game at cucougars.com, as well as get caught up on everything that's happened so far this season and everything that's to come over the next couple of weeks. I'm Jonathan Shear, the Cougar Sports Network. Here joining me today was head coach Rashawn Searles. Coach, thanks for joining us again. And thank you for tuning in once again. And make sure to tune in next time for the Coaches Weekly here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cougar Sports Network for some non-conference men's basketball action between the visiting Adrian Bulldogs and Concordia University Chicago. Tip-off there is going to go in favor here of the Bulldogs. And looking to get things going nice and early. Thanks for spending your Sunday right here on the Cougar Sports Network. We've got ourselves a fun one on the schedule as the Bulldogs look to get things going offensively first. Taking a look at their starting five. Number 0, Darius Welch. Number 1, Luke Rager. Number 2, Seth Logan. Number 10, Jaden Smiley. And number 15, Brendan Schlink. As fresh 20 on the shot clock. Corner 3, no good from Logan. Into the hands of Zimmer for the Cougars. CUC coming down the floor now. Taking a look at their starting five. Number 2, Tommy Zimmer. Number 3, Talis Lowry. Number 11, Darion Williams. Number 32, Riker Johnson. And number 34, Matthew Guthrie. Cougars wearing their maroon uniforms on their home court. Not something we see too often. Still scoreless here. The lob in for Guthrie. No good. He's going to step on that baseline and send things back down the other direction. Both of these teams coming off of a win over Dominican in their last games played. Not something you see too often, but Cougars at Dominican this past Wednesday picking up the 72-61 victory over their Division Street rivals as that one is blocked by Guthrie. Matthew Guthrie making his presence known in his home gym. Smiley unable to get that one elevated above the long wingspan of Guthrie. 18 on the shot clock for the Bulldogs. Inbounded there to Smiley. Kick up top. Looking for that curl screen on the wing. Schlink guarded tightly by Williams. That's poked away. Schlink able to get it. Shot clock winding down. The corner look here for Welch is good. Darius Welch putting the first points on the board for the Bulldogs. And that one's going to be batted around, lost by Lowry. Bulldogs have some numbers here. The corner look now for Schlink is good. Back-to-back triples for the Bulldogs to go on a quick 6-0 lead. Adrian taking advantage of having that possession in transition. They had numbers coming down the floor quickly. The Cougars were just a little bit slow getting back on defense. Here's Lowry, kicks it out to Williams. Williams from the wing. Sends it back over to Lowry, looking to cut middle. A turnaround, trying to get some step through here, can't. Feeds it back out, 3 seconds on the shot clock. A deep three from Williams, no good. Rebound into the hands of Welch. Welch coming down the floor now. Takes the screen, instead pulls for a mid-range jumper, no good. Schlink with the rebound, putback is good. An 8-0 start for the Bulldogs. The Cougars slowing things down a little bit, trying to get control back of this game. Lowry on the far side. Cutting back in, he kicks it out to Johnson. Riker Johnson's three is good. Riker Johnson gets the Cougars on the board, and we've got ourselves a three-point shootout here. And they're going to call Lowry on the foul now. First foul of the day. Corner look here once again. I can't tell quite if Zimmer got a hand on it or not, but the Cougars come away with it nonetheless. Lowry slowing things down, feeds it back out to Williams. Williams thought about another deep three, instead feeds it back out to Johnson. Johnson rejected in the paint by Welch. Williams looks inside. Johnson with a nice pin down, looking to go baseline, turn around, mid-range jumper off the glass, no good for Riker Johnson. Logan coming on the floor with it, pitches it up ahead to Welch, and that goes right through the hands of Darius Welch. 16:30 here in the first half, 8-3 in favor of the Bulldogs. CUC looking to put some points on the board here. Lowry rejected hard by Logan. A little mid-range fadeaway jumper is good for Talis Lowry. Welch up top, looks to feed it inside. That's rejected by Williams into the hands of Johnson. Johnson in a 2-on-2 situation here. Going to be tightly rejected by Logan. The kick out to Williams. Williams for three. No good, in and out. Welch with the rebound. Smiley with the rebound. And a little step through for Brendan Schlink. Takes advantage of a set Cougar defense. Williams now. Turnaround mid-range, falling on it, no good. Rebound into the hands of the Bulldogs, and then has it lost. Welch winds up in the bleachers trying to stay with that one, but we're going to get our first media timeout of the game. Bulldogs lead at 10-5 here, and taking a look at these two teams, as I mentioned, both of them coming off of a win over Dominican. The Cougars played at Dominican on Wednesday, and the Bulldogs, they played at Dominican just yesterday. They picked up the 93-88 win, so this is a team that's now playing back-to-back days and starting out with some intensity here, as right away Adrian had all the momentum from the very start of the game and being able to capitalize early on a couple of corner threes to just really start that momentum and force the Cougars to play some defense. I think we're going to continue to see Adrian moving quickly in transition and trying to take advantage of the Cougars' lack of transition defense. CUC looking to do the opposite as well. We've seen them slow things down a little bit, trying to control the pace of the game and lock in a little bit on the offensive end, and some really good looks that just aren't falling so far for CUC. But the Cougars, they tend to play like this early on in the season. We've seen it many, many times so far. They fall behind early on, and then they find a burst, and they just absolutely explode, especially here in Geisman. Fresh out of that timeout. Lineup staying the same for CUC, but we are going to see some fresh legs coming in for the Bulldogs, as Jeremiah Dallas checking in for the first time today, as well as Noah Van Lanningham. So a couple of substitutions, but 20 on the clock. Here's Lowry. Lowry with the hand off to Williams. Looks for the backdoor cut for Zimmer, no good. Instead, Williams is going to take it himself. Tight defense, but the no-look pass up for Johnson is good for two. Williams just absolutely bodying his defender and is able to sneak that pass in. 10-7 here in favor of the Bulldogs. Driving in is Welch, rejected by Guthrie. Gets that one up, no good. Guthrie with the rebound. Johnson moving quick, he feeds it ahead to Zimmer. Zimmer looks to kick it back out. Riker Johnson for three, no good. Rebound into the hands of the Bulldogs. Dallas coming down the floor, slowing things down a little bit. The feed over on the near side. Back up top. Welch wants that ball in the paint, but Rager's gonna take it himself. Williams coming down the near side here, takes the screen from Lowry, finds some space, up and in for two. Williams with a tough finish at the rim and pokes that one right out of the hands of Dallas. Something that we've talked about a lot this season for the Cougars is their tendency to play strong, fast-paced defense, and they're looking to get their hands in the passing lanes. They're looking to break up passes. They're looking to pick pockets, and we're seeing that already so far here today. Even with just that, the Bulldogs keep possession, but the Cougars, they're disrupting their flow. They're disrupting their momentum, and it's really resulting in a flood of substitutions coming in on both sides, just trying to keep that fast, aggressive defense at heart. 27 on the shot clock here. I believe we have a fresh 5 in for the Cougars. A.J. Willard, Vic Garrett, Honore Youngwa, Aaron Brown, and Andreas Lulaudis, now the 5 on the floor, as that one's rejected by Youngwa into the hands of Lulaudis. Moving quickly, looks to feed it ahead to Brown, but it does get tipped by the Bulldogs. So the Cougars looking to keep things moving in transition, but a little bit off balance there as two CUC players had a little bit of a collision and wound up on the ground. But 28 on the shot clock here. The feed inside for Garrett is rejected by Welch. Vic Garrett now putting one up and in. Long extension to get that one over the head of Welch. Dallas guarded by Youngwa. Driving in, and they're going to get Youngwa with the foul. Baseline inbound here for Adrian. Feeds it out to the near side wing. Driving in is Van Lanningham. Here's Welch, guarded by Brown. Little mid-range pull-up for Welch is good. Can't even say hand down, man down. Aaron Brown had one hand in his face. Still did not hesitate to pull that one. Willard thought about a three. Instead, drives it in, kicks it back out to Brown. Brown met by a double team. Looks to feed it out. Willard let it go by, assuming that it was for somebody else. Instead, it goes into the hands of Welch. But Youngwa coming back the other way. He's coming in, lays it up, and that's going to be rejected by the Bulldogs. Oh, my goodness. Dylan Gyra with a monster swat. And it translates on the offensive end for the Bulldogs. Lou Loudis here. Backdoor cut for Garrett goes right into the hands of Welch. The feed up ahead, Dallas. He's met with Lou Loudis. Little pump fake up, no good. Lou Loudis, great defense there to disrupt an easy layup. Brown coming down fast. He loses the handles. Feeds it back up to Youngwa, looking to redirect the offense here. Youngwa cutting inside. Floater mid-range, no good. Vic Garrett with the rebound, up and in for two. A strong board for Garrett. Bulldogs coming down. Here's Dallas going all the way. Rejected by Willard into the hands of Willard. And it looks like Dallas was trying to poke it away. Instead, grabs Willard. So the foul call and possession for the Cougars. The fast pace tempo that the Cougars like to play, we're seeing that come into effect here. 13-16 in favor of Adrian. Youngwa bringing the ball down the floor for the Cougars. Brown up top, looks to feed it inside to Garrett. Lou Loudis now on the near side wing. Looks to feed it into Garrett once again. Garrett guarded tightly, he's double teamed, looks for the no-look pass to Brown. Aaron Brown not quite ready for it, batting around a little bit, and they're gonna get Brown for the foul. That ball was batted around a little bit, and it looks like they're gonna be slow to get up as Darius Welch. And that's gonna do media timeout number 2. So while these two teams take a quick break, we're going to take one as well. Don't go anywhere. 16-13 in favor of Adrian College right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Kayla McLeod on the call all afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just now tuning in, it's been a fast-paced and aggressive first half so far. Bulldogs leading the Cougars 16-13 after the second media timeout of the half. Bulldogs inbounding the ball on the far side of the floor. Van Lanningham bringing the ball down the floor for Adrian. Hands it over to Logan. Another handoff on that far side to Lutz. Little pull-up rejected by Lou Loudis into the hands of Vic Garrett. Yangwa feeds it up to Lou Loudis. Lou Loudis rejected in the paint. Strong defense there from Lutz. But the up and in for Vic Garrett is good. Cougs only trail by 1. Bulldogs moving down the floor quickly. Here's Van Landingham again. Feeds it over to Logan. Corner look. Logan sees plenty of space. A little fadeaway mid-range jumper, no good into the hands of Brown. Yangwa, the kick to the corner look for Lou Loudis, no good. Right into the hands of Smiley. A pull-up jumper here now is good. Noah Van Landingham knocks a triple down. Extends the Bulldogs' lead once again. Willard looks for Yangwa. Cut to the basket, the feed back out. Lou Loudis, redemption. No good, right into the hands of Brown. Brown batted around and puts it up, gets the foul. Aaron Brown surrounded by at least 3 defenders and still found his way to the rim, able to get a shot up, get the foul call, and now he's going to the free throw line for 2. First free throws of the day for Aaron Brown. Puts the first one in. Brown this season shooting just about 74% from the charity stripe. As his second one off the front iron. Garrett almost got the rebound, instead knocks it right into the hands of Rager. Kick back up top, looking for the baseline drive. Van Landingham kicks it back up top. A deep 3 look for Logan, no good, but goes right to the hands of Smiley. The feed back out. Rager finds some space. Far side, wing 3, no good for Van Landingham, but the Bulldogs once again look to make the pass to save it, but Willard with the interception. Vic Garrett up and no good. Lou Loudis gets the rebound. Strong defense from Jaden Smiley. Now the 3 for Willard, no good. Batted around once again, but ending up into the hands of the Bulldogs. Moving quickly down the floor. Here's Rare. Rejected by Yangwa. Bulldogs keep possession, but oh my goodness, Honore Yangwa. But the Bulldogs able to score nonetheless. Jacob Rior able to knock the triple down, but Yangwa letting everybody know whose gym this is. Feed inside for Vic Garrett. Little short corner look for Aaron Brown is good. 22-18 in favor of the Bulldogs. Full court press here from CUC. Van Landingham bringing the ball up the floor, feeds it up to Rager. Double team right on that far side, but baseball pass intercepted by Garrett. Cougars moving down quickly. Lou Loudis looks to catch Vic Garrett in motion in the paint, but instead just bounces it off of him, and we're going to see a slew of subs in maroon. 4 new faces coming in for the Cougars. Entering the game for the first time today is Sebastian Hill and Kenton Pryor. Checking back in for CUC is Riker Johnson and Darion Williams, and they're going to get the moving screen on Smiley on that one. So sending things back down for CUC. Pryor over to Williams. Williams looks for a man in motion, feeds it back up to Johnson. Johnson looks to send it in for Garrett. Garrett almost loses it. Up and good for 2. Good recovery there from Garrett. Vic Garrett now leading at CUC in terms of scoring. 6 points on the day so far. The look here for Welch. Little turnaround rejected by Vic Garrett. Oh my goodness. It's a block party in Geisman. Corner look for Hill. His three, no good. Right into the hands of Smiley. Rager finding some space inside. Up and no good into the hands of Pryor. Able to split the defenders, but could not quite finish. The baseline look here for Garrett, rejected by the Bulldogs, and that up and in for Garrett also just fell short. Welch here. Feeds it over to Van Lanningham. Up top look. Baseline drive for Rager. Feeds it right back. The almost three from Welch. Instead, feeds it into Smiley. Smiley guarded tightly by Pryor. The three for Van Lanningham is good. Oh my goodness, Noah Van Lanningham. Another three for the Bulldogs. Adrian shooting 50% from deep, 5 for 10 from the three-point line. And they extend their lead out to 5 as we get a timeout here. So while these two teams take a timeout, we're going to take one as well on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, 6:44 remaining in the half. Adrian College leading at 25-20. And checking back in for the Cougars is Matthew Guthrie. Hill inbounding. Bulldogs looking to pick up the intensity here, full court pressure. Johnson over to Williams, 5 to cross. Guarded tightly by Welch, they get across. Guthrie back out to Johnson. Johnson directing traffic, hands off to Williams. 14 on the shot clock now, Hill. Back to Williams on the near side. Hand off to Johnson, under 10 on the shot clock. Johnson looking to find his way to the basket. One-on-one, up and in for 2. Riker Johnson with a tough finish. Cougars returning the favor with some full court pressure here for the Bulldogs. 3-point lead for Adrian. That's going to be poked out, and they're going to have a little conversation about who actually touched that. They were sending it back down with the Cougars, but this near side official who had pretty much the same look as we had here, keeping that with the Bulldogs. There was a little bit of a swat that kind of resulted in that going out of bounds. So shot clock remaining the same. Welch now hands it off to Rager. Rager on the wing, back to Welch. Up top here for Schlink. Hands it off to Dallas. Dallas cutting inside, guarded by Hill. The 3 for Schlink, no good, back iron. It's gonna hit the pole, so a dead ball there for CUC, but that's not a bad look. The Bulldogs have been shooting really well from 3 so far today, 5 for 11 now. But with the shot clock winding down, never a bad look if you're shooting that hot from deep. Pryor here on the near side, feeds it back over to Johnson. Johnson hands it off to Hill. Cougars pull things back out. 15 on the shot clock now. Williams looks to drive it in. That's going to be stripped away by Dallas. Dallas guarded tightly by the Cougars and has that one stripped away by Kenton Pryor. And the Cougars coming back down with a lot of momentum. Williams kicks it back out to Johnson. Johnson's 3 is good! Riker Johnson! We are all tied up here inside Geisman for the first time since the start of the game. Momentum has shifted for CUC. Corner look for Welch is good. And the Bulldogs not going down without a fight. 28-25 in favor of Adrian. Williams coming down the floor directing traffic. Hill. Johnson now feeds it back to Williams. The slip inside for Guthrie, up and in for two. Razier coming down the floor now. He takes the screen from Smiley. Takes it once again. Looks to cut baseline instead. Cuts up top. A three is good. Big time three from Welch to extend things out for the Bulldogs. 31-27, under 5 to play. Williams over to Pryor. Pryor up top for Johnson. Williams pulls for three. No good. Back iron. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs and accompanied by a foul. And that's going to bring us to another media timeout. So while these two teams take a break, let's take a look at the box score so far here today. As I mentioned, Bulldogs shooting fairly well from deep there. 7 for 13 from the three-point line, shooting just about 54%. CUC, on the other hand, 2 for 11, and that's where some of this difference is. We're seeing it early on. The Cougars, they're battling inside the paint. They're getting those mid-range looks, but they're just not getting those shots to fall from deep. And we've seen the Cougars have some shooters that can get hot later in the game and look to make a difference. Williams, on the season, he's shooting just about 44% from deep, and he's just not able to knock those down. He's 0 for 3 from deep today, and very uncharacteristic for Williams, so we can expect him to continue to keep shooting those and wait for that spark to kick in. But also taking a look at those total turnovers, Bulldogs sitting with 8, the Cougars sitting with 7. But a lot of this is coming on the defensive end. We've seen a lot of balls batted around back and forth. The Cougars, 6 blocks so far today. They are doing their best to reject the Bulldogs at the rim, and it's really forcing Adrian to shoot that ball from outside. And right now, the Bulldogs, they're hot, so they're going to keep shooting it as they're not finding much luck inside the paint with some tall CUC defenders. And looking at the fast-pacedness of this game, it's not surprising that both teams are sitting with 4 steals for the Bulldogs, 5 steals for the Cougars. So we're looking at things moving really quickly here as under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Bulldogs inbounding on the baseline. Intercepted by Zimmer. Zimmer feeds back to Willard. Willard up and no good. Rejected by Welch. Welch had his entire palm on that ball and just completely threw it backwards. So Cougars now with the inbound. Zimmer feeds it up top for Yangwa and goes right into the hands of the Bulldogs. Here's Welch. He's moving quickly up and no good, but he's going to pick up the foul. Willard preventing that easy fast break layup. And now that's going to put Darius Welch at the free throw line to shoot 2. Welch's first free throws of the day today. He's shooting just about 61% on the season, as his first free throw is good. And we're going to see some more fresh legs checking in for CUC. Amongst those fresh legs checking in for the Cougars is Carter Privet, making his debut inside Geisman in the maroon and gold. If I'm not mistaken, it might be his debut on the season. Bringing the ball down the floor for the Cougars right now. It is his season debut in the maroon and gold. Williams directing traffic. Feeds it back over to Brown. Brown looking to drive in. Kicks it back out to Privet. Privet cutting inside. He's met by 2 defenders. Feeds it back out to Williams. Williams finding his way in. A little step back. And they're going to say the foul was before the shots. They're going to get Luke Rager with the body. Williams inbounding the ball. He finds Johnson with some space. Johnson, little hook shot is good. Riker Johnson. Full court pressure from the Cougars, batted around into the hands of Williams, and they're going to get another foul there on Rager. Riker Johnson, 12 points so far today. As that's going to bring in Carson Lutz for the Bulldogs, as Rager quickly picked up 2 fouls in a matter of seconds. As Yangwa checking back in for the Cougars. Williams moving a little bit slow off the floor. 3:08 remaining in the first half. The feed for Johnson. Johnson pulls for 3. No good, front iron into the hands of Welch. Welch feeds it ahead for Logan. Back to Welch. The kick out here for Lutz. Lutz cutting back inside. Turnaround. Kicks it back out. Logan thought about a 3, instead drives baseline with some space up and in for 2. Count the basket. I believe they're going to get Privet on the foul. They do. Carter Privet picking up his first foul, and an and one opportunity here for Seth Logan. Logan leading this Bulldogs squad in many ways, and in one of those ways it is also free throw percentage. He's shooting 28 for 31 from the charity stripe this season, just over 90% from the free throw line, as he successfully completes the three-point play. And that's going to bring Vic Garrett back in for the Cougars. 2:45 remaining. Bulldogs lead 36-29. Johnson feeds it up for Willard. Back to Garrett. Garrett over to Brown. Brown almost lost it, contains it, pulls it right back out towards the three-point line. Driving in, again, batted around a little bit. I think 3 different Bulldogs got their hands on it at one point, and now they're going to call him for the travel. Pesky defense from the Bulldogs disrupts all flow that the Cougars had. 2:28 remaining now in the first half. Lutz bringing the ball down the floor, guarded tightly by Johnson. Logan back up top to Smiley. Logan, little handoff to Lutz. Lutz takes the screen. Hesitation. Little turnaround, kicks it right back out to Van Lanningham, whose 3 is no good. Excuse me, that was Schlink, whose 3 was no good. Second opportunity for Logan, front iron, no good. Johnson with the heave up for Willard and just unable to get there. A little bit too much juice on that long pass from Riker Johnson. Darius Welch inbounding on the baseline for the Bulldogs. A little off balance, and they're going to call somebody for a foul. Riker Johnson is going to be called for that foul, and that's going to send things down for Carson Lutz at the free throw line. 1-and-1 opportunity here. First one, no good. Rebound goes to Garrett. 1:50 to play in the half. Privet here on the near side. Kicks it back up to Johnson. Johnson looking to direct traffic. Brown fakes the baseline, instead feeds it right back out to Privet. Privet met by some tight defense, looks to feed it in, has that one. Looked like he was going for a pass, rejected, but somehow ends up into the hands of Riker Johnson, who's able to successfully put that up for 2. Johnson having himself a fantastic first half. Pass up ahead to Logan is good. Logan thought about pulling for 3, instead feeds it over. The 3 is good for Brendan Schlink. Bulldogs up by 8 with a minute to play. Garrett Drives it in. Met by a slew of Cougars. Can't get the basket, but he's going to draw that foul. 50.4 remaining in the first half. Carson Lutz called for the foul. And that's going to put Vic Garrett at the line for the first time tonight. Garrett 8 for 17 from the charity stripe this season, as his first one is good. Second free throw for Garrett. Off the back iron, rebounded, almost went to Willard, but instead ends up into the hands of the Bulldogs. About a 20-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. This one almost poked away by Willard. Instead, batted around a little bit, still ends up into the hands of the Bulldogs. Shot fake three, step back three, rejected by Williams. Oh my goodness, what a series. Seth Logan, shot fake, took one dribble and then went for the step back three and then has it absolutely rejected by Darion Williams. 0.9 difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Lowry coming down the floor now. Pryor over to Williams. Williams back to Lowry. Hand off to Willard. Willard looks to catch Williams. Williams thought about a three instead. He's going to play the dribble. Up top for Willard, back over to Lowry. 10 on the shot clock. Lowry looking to get that through. Somehow he does. Dallas Lowry, a tough shot and a tough finish. Dallas with the pull-up three to end the half, no good. Oh my goodness, the Cougars coming back late in the second half of the first half, and absolutely going on a run there. 6 of their last 8 field goals were good, and that really brought them right back into this game. They trail 39-34, but it has been a very exciting back and forth, fast-paced game. So while these two teams take a quick 15-minute break here for halftime, we're going to take one as well. But don't go anywhere. Second half action coming up on the Cougar Sports Network.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
I do have a regular tutor. I come to see him every Friday. This is something I actually started doing here at Concordia. I never really sought tutoring before.
As the Dean of Students, I work closely with our students here, all the way from orientation through to graduation in a variety of capacities. We have CU Learn up on the second floor of the Christopher Center, which is a great space with some fantastic resources for our students.
This is more of a workspace, a hands-on place. We have small cubicles you can work in that have video screens so you can work on a presentation. You can work with your tutors for content areas.
Here at CU Learn, I tutor the natural sciences. For anyone who wants to become a student tutor, it will definitely expand and cement your understanding of the information you already know.
We were friends first, and once she got a job as a tutor, I was like, perfect, I know a tutor. I can go to her for help whenever I need it. I've received help studying and help with writing.
Being a tutor has actually helped me. I think it's kind of shown me where my strengths and weaknesses lie. Kind of complement each other in that sense so we can help each other out.
We've got subject tutors for nearly every subject up there, as well as our writing center. Our writing center is a great resource.
When I assign papers to class, I encourage every student to make sure eyes other than theirs read through their paper. The writing center is the first option. I always encourage students to make use of those resources.
Students can actually email their papers to the writing center and get feedback. All of our services are both offered in person in this CU Learn space as well as virtual appointments. Students can access Navigate. Navigate allows students to access a large list of resources, kind of where to go for different needs that they might have on campus. The core values of Christian faith, the individual, excellence, integrity, and service. I see CU Learn living those out every day.
All of your academic supports are concentrated in one location. If you need it, we should be able to help you here.
Everyone's goal in college is to succeed, right? To learn. CU Learn's been great support to my students.
It's never a waste to better your education or to strengthen your skills or skills you may not have. It's always good to learn a bit more and never to just sit back and not do anything.
The space itself, it's a really nice study space, large windows, a lot of natural light, a good quiet environment to work.
It's actually helped me learn a lot. Like even these classes that I've taken before, it's definitely enhanced my learning. So it's fun, I keep learning.
Make sure you come in and try it. It'll feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. I felt more comfortable in my studies, completing anything necessary.
It's helped me become better, it's helped me hone those skills, and it's helped me make sure that my writing and my other academic areas are as strong as they can be.
Hi, I'm Monica here at Concordia University Chicago, and we're here outside of Concordia Hall.
Concordia Hall is the university's newest residence hall, right on the edge of campus, perfect for students who want to explore the nearby downtown of Oak Park and River Forest. The flexible suite-style living in fully furnished bedrooms lets students choose what works best for them. Every floor is complete with a community lounge and full common kitchen, with a kitchenette, microwave, sink, and refrigerator. The first floor offers the Victory Lounge, connecting to 2 additional residence halls, with no shortage of ways to relax. You're also right next to an open, outdoor plaza, better known as Victory Lane.
So now we're here in Concordia Hall's suite-style dorm room, and this is a really nice place to just hang out and chill. And since it's so big, there's plenty of room to spread out and do your homework and just relax. So now making our way into one of the bedrooms, there's plenty of space in this room for you and your roommate. A lot of times students will move the desks so that they've got their separate study space, but my roommate and I, we get along really well, so we can just work together here in the same space. Sometimes I like doing art as well, as you can see by the painting here. It's a 16 by 10 feet space, and most rooms on campus are 10 by 12 feet. So it's really nice to have a little extra space to work with here in Concordia Hall. So this hall is super close to the chapel and the Kennedy Community Center, which has the new Crossroads Dining Hall. So the location is super convenient. And I really love the city scene too. The location here is the closest on campus to the Oak Park River Forest downtown area, which has a ton of great stores and restaurants. Speaking of the city scene, I adore the view from this lounge because you can see the Chicago skyline right there.
Concordia Hall at Concordia University, Chicago.
You can't sleep here, Charlie.
Become a CUC nursing student and choose to stand tall for healing at a university that places Christ at the center and embraces teaching students to live a life fulfilled by purpose and meaning. Concordia University Chicago's new Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree is an innovative and rigorous 4-year program that will prepare you to rise to the daily challenges of a rewarding nursing career and serve a greater cause. Our newly built modern simulation center features 4 distinct spaces: a skills attainment lab, multi-specialty intensive care spaces, a health assessment learning center, and a simulated home environment. Due to our close proximity to many world-class teaching hospitals, CUC's clinical rotations offer an abundance of diverse and real-world experiences. Learn more about earning your BSN at a Christ-centered university today.
Down through the ages, God has called and equipped people to make a real difference in the lives of others. To lead, to heal, to stand tall. For 160 years, Concordia University Chicago has been preparing the next generation of leaders with the wisdom, faith, and values to make an impact in the world, to share the gifts God gave them and answer the call to a life fulfilled by purpose and truth, to be living examples of what it means to live with Christ at the center as we serve others. Because at CUC, we don't run away from adversity, we go towards it. We don't shrink from our faith, we lead with it. We are teachers, caregivers, and musicians, scientists, pastors, and business leaders, unshakable pillars of strength and integrity who serve a cause greater than ourselves. And the world needs us now more than ever. Learn how a degree from Concordia University Chicago can help you be the pillar the world needs to stand for something greater. The only question is, are you ready to stand tall?
Back here on the Cougar Sports Network for some second half action. Adrian Bulldogs leading 39-34, but the Cougars coming out hot as Zimmer has that one rejected, but gets his rebound up and no good. A back and forth first half, but the Bulldogs have had the lead the entirety of today, but it's been nobody's game, genuinely. The back and forth battle between these two as they're going to catch the offensive foul on Luke Rager. Riker Johnson taking a hard hit there. I believe that's Rager's third foul. It is. So he is quickly subbed out here. Carson Lutz checking in place of Rager. Williams just outside the paint, able to split, but he's going to be tripped up by Lutz. So quickly, 2 fouls on the Bulldogs. Williams for 3, no good. As a really tough collision there, and they're going to get Guthrie for the foul. Both Guthrie and Logan going up for the rebound. And Guthrie looking to swat that ball out of there, instead catches Logan in the face. So possession for the Bulldogs. Full court pressure here from CUC. Lutz with the ball, guarded by Zimmer. And Zimmer is going to get called for the foul. In less than a minute of play, we have seen 4 fouls. A testament to what we are going to see for the rest of this half. It looks like these two teams are going to continue to be pesky. They're going to continue to play some strong, hard defense. As Lutz kicks it back out to Logan. Logan has that one rejected by Zimmer, but it goes right into the hands of Smiley. Smiley's up and in for 2. Cougars coming down quickly. Here's Lowry on the near side. Tallis Lowry, little hesitation, takes the baseline drive. Double team, looks for the no-look pass out to Johnson. Johnson cutting in, and they're going to get the foul call on it. 2 free throws on the dock for Riker Johnson. They get Schlink on the foul. Johnson's first free throw is good. His first free throws of the day. He's leading this CUC team with 14 points, 15 now with the free throw. But only his first trip to the charity stripe, as the second free throw is good. Riker Johnson sitting at a clean 16 points so far. Lutz stuck in the backcourt. Baseball pass down to Smiley. Smiley up and in for 2. The Cougars very unhappy about not getting a push-off call there, but Cougars coming down now. Here's Lowry. Cutting inside, little floater off balance, no good, but Zimmer almost grabbing the rebound. Instead, Welch able to collect it. Darius Welch coming down the floor, feeds it out. The corner look for Schlink, no good. Right into the hands of Riker Johnson. Lowry coming down on his own, looks to get another little step through, and they're going to count the basket and the foul. Tallis Lowry with a chance for 3. As Carson Lutz collects his 4th foul of the game, so he's quickly subbed out. And as I mentioned, we are just a few minutes into this half, and we've already seen a collective of 6 fouls. So it has been a physical game, and it looks like it is going to continue on that trajectory as Jeremiah Dallas bringing the ball down the floor, hands it over to Logan. Logan's 3, no good, back iron. Johnson with the rebound. Williams feeds it ahead to Guthrie, but that's going to be rejected in the air by Smiley. A good read from the junior out of Detroit, Michigan. able to just get a hand on it. And that's going to bring Noah Van Lanningham back into the game for the Bulldogs. 26 on the shot clock for the Cougars. The feed up for Johnson. Over to Guthrie. Handoff for Zimmer. Zimmer cutting back towards the baseline. Looks for the slip for Guthrie. Guthrie up and good for 2. CUC crossing the 40-point threshold, only trail by 2. Welch on his left hand, rejected by Johnson. The kick up top to Smiley, over to Dallas. Dallas takes the screen, moves right in, a mid-range, in and out. Rebound into the hands of Williams and Schlink, and they're going to keep the ball with the Bulldogs. 17:01 to play, 20 on the shot clock. A.J. Willard now checking in for CUC. Smiley with the ball. Hand off to Dallas. Cutting towards the baseline, a little mid-range jumper for Smiley is good for 2. Lowry coming down the floor. Brings it to the near side. Rejects the screen, takes the screen on the right side from Guthrie. Baseline cut, kick out to Williams, no good. Darion Williams cold from deep, which is very uncharacteristic for him. 0 for 4 from the three-point line. As Dallas feeds it over to Van Lanningham, whose mid-range jumper falls for 2. Williams has that one poked away, but it's going to stay with the Cougars. As checking in now for the Bulldogs is Dylan Gyra. 23 on the shot clock for the Cougars. Lowry here. The feed inside to Willard. Willard double teamed, has an option outside. Johnson, shot fake, takes the baseline drive up and rejected by a number of Bulldogs. And with the shot clock expiring, the turnover just poked out of bounds and a little bit of a back and forth. Both teams struggling to control the ball. Brendan Schlink in motion ends up on the ground looking for the foul, but it gets poked away, and it's going to send things down in the opposite direction, and we're going to get our first media timeout of the half. And I believe they are going to get an intentional foul on Schlink, if I heard the official correctly. So while these two teams take a break, we're going to take one as well. Don't go anywhere, right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, some clarification there. There was a technical foul called on Brendan Schlink. I believe it was some words that was exchanged with the officials when he went down near the mid-court area. So goes down as a personal foul for him and a team foul, and that's going to put Talis Lowry at the line for the free throw. As It is good. So 2 free throws plus possession the Cougars will get after this technical. Lowry's second free throw is good. And as I mentioned, the Cougars will keep possession here, so they're going to get that ball inbounded in the backcourt. 47-43 in favor of the Bulldogs. Lowry bringing the ball down the floor now. Williams here on the near side. Feeds it up to Willard. Kicks it over to Pryor. Cutting inside. Sends it right back up to Aaron Brown with plenty of space. Brown pulls for 3, no good. Rebound into the hands of Van Lanningham. Bulldogs coming down quickly. Here's Dallas. Little hesitation into the paint. Looks to feed it back out. The 3 for Gyra is good. Dylan Gyra knocks down his first 3 of the day. As that one up and in, a strong bucket. Cougars trail by 5. The double team from CUC, but that's going to leave a man open in the wing. Schlink for 3, no good. The tip in from Van Lanningham, also no good, and that's going to result in the Cougars coming down quickly. Lowry feeds it back up to Williams. Williams driving inside. He's guarded by Welch. Little turnaround, off-balance jumper, but they're going to get the foul. Schlink's going to get called for the foul, and that's going to put Williams at the line for 2. Williams' first free throw is good. Two free throws for Williams, both successful. As that one poked away by Willard. As they're going to set the shot clock to 29. 14:27 remaining in the game. Dallas bringing the ball down the floor, guarded by Pryor. Feeds it up to Van Lanningham. Van Lanningham with plenty of space. A turnaround, has that stripped away by Williams. The Cougars coming down quickly. Tallis Lowry, a little stutter step, and has that one broken up by the Bulldogs. And someone is getting called for the foul on that. Brown threw his hands up. Looks like they are going to get Williams for the foul. Lou Loudis checking back in for CUC. That's going to move things to the baseline inbound for Adrian College. Welch inbounding, feeds it in to Dallas. Dallas guarded tightly by Willard. And Willard pokes that one away. And a tie up, but then they feed up for Lou Loudis, and a great steal from A.J. Willard. Lou Loudis with the clean finish, and the Cougs are within 1. Dallas having some trouble getting out of that tight defense from Willard. Kick now here for Van Lanningham. Momentum has shifted in Geisman. Gyra feeds it up. It's batted around a little bit, back in the hands of Van Lanningham. 11 on the shot clock. Welch pulls for 3 with a hand in his face. And they're going to call a timeout here. Oh my goodness, what a tough bucket from Welch. With a hand in his face from Lowry. And the 30-second timeout becomes the media. And taking a look at these stats so far, as I mentioned, it's a very physical second half. We're already at 9 total fouls in the half. So these two teams continuing to stay aggressive. But while these two teams take a quick break, we're going to take one as well right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Bulldogs lead 53-49, 13:33 remaining in the game. Pryor inbounds the ball to Lowry. The full court pressure from the Bulldogs has not made an appearance this half. Willard with the ball up top, cuts it inside, finds Loudis on the wing. Loudis thought about the three, pump fake, kicks back out. A.J. Willard for three, no good. But Pryor with the rebound up, has it rejected, and the late foul call. Jaden Smiley going to get called for it. Definitely was a foul. And that's going to put Kenton Pryor at the charity stripe. First free throw, no good for Pryor. Pryor shooting just about 65% from the charity stripe this season. 13 for 21, 13 for 22 after that one, and there's going to be a foul call against the Cougars. I believe Aaron Brown's going to get called for that one with a little bit of a hook on that box out. 13:09, and that's going to bring Honore Yangwa in for CUC. Inbound finding its way into the hands of the Bulldogs. Back in for Adrian College is Luke Rager. Rager cuts baseline, finds Smiley in the paint, no good. Rebound up and no good on the putback, but he is going to get called for the foul. I believe Pryor is going to get called for the foul, and that's going to put Smiley at the line for two. Smiley making his first appearance at the line here today. First one up and good. Jaden Smiley not making many appearances at the free throw line so far this season. With that first made free throw here, he's 1 for 3 on the year, so just very limited trips to the charity stripe. As his second free throw, no good, back iron into the hands of Willard. Vic Garrett back on the floor for CUC. He looks to cut, no look pass, but it's going to be broken up by the Bulldogs, but they're not able to hold on to it. Rager got his hand on it, but Jacob Rior not able to collect it. So 20 on the shot clock. Yangwa inbounding for CUC. Kick over to Loudis, the feed inside to Vic Garrett. He goes up on the reverse and gets it, plus the foul. Vic Garrett with a chance for three. Smiley picking up the foul. Great effort there from Garrett. Pump fake reverse, able to get a strong bucket and the foul call. Vic Garrett not able to make the three-point play. Rebound goes into the hands of the Bulldogs. Far side, that's Seth Logan. Looks to pull up instead, feeds it back to Smiley. Smiley with some options, feeds it back up to Welch. Welch over to Rager. Rager here on the near side, looks for the baseline cut. Guarded by Loudis, the kick out. Welch, 10 on the shot clock, driving in, up and good! Welch collects the bucket, but draws the foul. I believe Matthew Guthrie is hit for the foul. Welch now at the line. He's 2 for 2 on the day, has the chance for the three-point play. Free throw for Welch is good. CUC trails by 6. Lowry coming down. We're seeing that full court pressure from the Bulldogs start up once again. Johnson over to Lowry. Cougars moving quickly. The feed for Williams. Williams, I believe it was a deep 2. It is a deep 2, but exactly what the Cougars needed, and they needed Darion Williams to start getting hot from deep. So even though it was a long 2, just having that confidence and getting that first one to fall from deep is huge. Johnson over to Guthrie. Guthrie back to Johnson. Johnson now looks to feed it inside to Garrett, and they're going to get the off-ball foul. Jacob Rior getting called for that. And that's going to send things to the media timeout. So these two teams, no surprise here, but as these two teams take a break, we're going to take one as well. Don't go anywhere on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, 11:39 remaining in this game. Bulldogs lead 59-53. They've held this lead the entirety of the day, but the Cougars keep climbing back at every opportunity that they have. Garrett at the free throw line here. Vic Garrett 1 for 3 from the charity stripe so far today. Back iron on that one. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs, but some full court pressure from the Cougars do not make it easy. Welch here guarded tightly by Yangwa, and they're going to get Yangwa for the foul, and that's going to be a 1-and-1 here for Welch. We saw it from early on in this half. I noted it that within the first minute of play, we had already seen 2 fouls from each team. So it was going to be an aggressive second half. Both of these teams trying to have a little bit more control of the game and extend the lead a little bit more comfortably, and that's resulting in a physical matchup between these two as Welch is able to drain both free throws. Garrett inbounding the ball to Lowry. Lowry bringing the ball down the floor, 11:20 to play. Yangwa with the ball on the near side wing, feeds it up to Williams. Williams over to Lowry. Lowry takes the screen from Garrett. Garrett had a nice roll, but Lowry's going to take it himself. A little mid-range pull-up jumper is good for the sophomore from Fairview Heights, Illinois. Full court pressure once again from the Cougars. Rager met with some Cougars as the 3 and no good from Rior. Johnson collects the rebound. He's able to split the defenders, get things moving as Vic Garrett slams one down. Vic Garrett 4-2. A great look from Riker Johnson. Read that really well. Rager almost got a hand on it. Instead, it resulted in him getting beat by Garrett. And the call is going to stay with the Bulldogs. But I believe we are going to see a timeout here and potentially a challenge from Coach Rashawn Searles. So our first video review of the day. Coach Rashawn Searles taking a look at that to see if anybody had touched it. Something that has been newly implemented by CUC this year. Started for conference play. Video review at the most basic level here. Looking to expand the systems across the conference in the next coming years, but still a little bit of a new system. So we'll see what these officials see as far as being able to take a look and understand whether or not that ball was touched or not. Coach, the call on the floor was that that ball was tipped and that it's going to stay with the Bulldogs. But on the review here, Coach Searles is going to look and see if it was touched at all and if that should be heading back down in favor of the Cougars. So the officials hopefully have a clear view. If they can't make a clear and decisive decision on whether or not that was touched, the call has to stand. But they take a look at it, and now they're going to discuss whether or not that ball was touched and what the results of the challenge is going to be. Teams coming out of their team huddles as these officials are still looking at this. Shot clock sitting at 19. So if the ball stays with the Bulldogs, it's going to stay at 19. If they do not reverse the call, Coach Searles is going to lose his timeout and the ball will stay with the Bulldogs. But it looks like it was a successful coach's challenge from Coach Searles. Possession with the Cougars, so he keeps his timeout and has one more challenge for the game should he need it. Smart play by the coach for CUC. He's in his third season as the head coach, making some high IQ decisions as Williams, a pull-up jumper is good. Rager with the ball, guarded by Lowry. Some momentum might have shifted in favor of CUC. Welch with the ball up top, takes the screen, looked for three, has that poked away by Yangwa. Yangwa batted around a little bit. Vic Garrett comes away with it, sends it forward for Johnson. Johnson able to collect it, but I believe he stepped on the baseline, so a very chaotic series of events there. But it all originated with some strong defense from Yangwa, and just able to disrupt everything that the Bulldogs had going. 9:47 to play. Rager with the ball, guarded by Williams. Coming down the floor quickly on the far side, cuts back. Pull up mid-range for Rager is good. Takes it himself. Lowry bringing the ball down for CUC, not met with a defender until the volleyball 10-foot line. Welch guarding him tightly. The kick out to Williams. Williams driving in, kicks out for Riker Johnson. Johnson thought about a three, instead feeds it for for Garrett. Garrett could not quite get a hand on it, so Bulldogs able to pick up the steal. Rager once again coming down, finds his way all the way to the rim, collects the foul, and one. They're going to get Williams on the foul. And the three-point opportunity here for Luke Rager. Shooting just about 77% from the charity stripe this season. He puts that one in and converts on the three-point play. Yangwa with the ball. Feeds it over to Lowry. Kick up for Zimmer. The cut in the middle rejected by the Bulldog defense. Yangwa looks inside to Garrett. Garrett kicks out to Zimmer. Zimmer, a mid-range pull-up jumper, no good, collected by Logan. The kick out here. Schlink loses that one, but eventually Rager comes away with it. The three look, instead driving all the way in is Gyra, no good. The tip for Schlink, no good, but collects it once again. Brendan Schlink able to put that one up and in. Bulldogs lead by 9. And I believe there's a timeout on the floor. Cougars called the timeout, but it becomes the media timeout, so we're going to take a short break right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, 8:09 remaining. Bulldogs lead 68-59. The Cougars took a timeout to avoid losing possession here as they're in the final crunch time here, needing to protect the ball and get some points on the board. 24 on the shot clock. Pryor inbounding the ball into the backcourt, into the hands of Lowry. Willard kicks over to Hill. Looks for the wing three for Lowry. Instead, he's going to cut inside, guarded by 3 defenders. Count the basket! Oh my goodness, Tallis Lowry! An off-balance jumper, collects the foul and has the opportunity for a 3-point play here. Lowry 3 for 3 from the charity stripe so far today. Lowry's free throw is good, completes the 3-point play. Cougars trail 68-62, some full court pressure here from CUC. A feed up ahead to Logan. Looks for the short corner, look for Schlink, in and out, no good. Guthrie with the rebound. Hill coming down the floor on the far side. Cuts back over to Pryor. Pryor splitting the gap, up and no good. Into the hands of Schlink. Schlink feeds it forward. A Euro step up, finger roll, count it for Welch. 70-62 here in favor of the Bulldogs. Lowry making his way all the way down, cutting inside is A.J. Willard with a strong finish at the rim. Welch up top, directing traffic. Willard playing some tight defense, a double screen that's stripped away by Lowry. The Cougars have numbers and momentum. Tallis Lowry, a Euro step, hesitation up and in! Tallis Lowry with a tough finish yet again, and the Cougars are within 4. Rager bringing the ball down the floor. He takes the screen from Smiley. He pulls for 3. He gets it. A big-time 3 for the Bulldogs. Much needed after a little burst there from CUC. Lowry here on the near side, hands it off to Willard. Back over to Hill. Hill takes the screen, cuts back. Driving into the paint, up and good for 2. Sebastian Hill. These two teams are finding momentum for each of them. Rager cutting down, feeds it over to Smiley, has it broken up, batted around. Hill comes away with it. Hill going up and finger roll for 2. Sebastian Hill brings this within 3. Welch takes the screen, guarded by Willard. Willard pokes it away. I believe Welch wanted a foul. A little bit of a stare down at the official on that far side, but 18 on the shot clock. Bulldogs inbounding. Up for Smiley. Hand off to Rager. Takes the screen. Spin move, cuts inside of the paint once again. Looking for some options, kicks it out, but that's going to be batted around by Carter Privet. 3 on the shot clock, batted around once again. Must pull up and off the front iron for Logan, but the putback attempt for Schlink, no good, but he collects the foul on it. A chaotic series of events that wound up with the Bulldogs in the backcourt with the shot clock winding down, and somehow they were still able to get the shot off, collect the offensive rebound, and that put Brendan Schlink at the free throw line to shoot 2. Schlink's second free throw, no good, front iron. And they're going to get a foul here. I believe Kenton Pryor called on the foul, and that's going to put Seth Logan at the free throw line. Logan coming into today shooting just above 90% from the charity stripe, as his first free throw is good. Both of these teams in the double bonus. We've got 5:22 to play. $75-70 in favor of the Bulldogs. Second free throw, no good. Guthrie with the rebound. Hill, a pull-up 3. Bingo, bango, bongo, Sebastian Hill. 75-73 in favor of the Bulldogs, but the Cougars are hot. Dallas outside the three-point line, pulling for 3 is Lutz, who answers right back for Adrian College. And a quick timeout for the Bulldogs. Both teams finding and stealing momentum back and forth. But while these two teams take a quick break, we're going to take one as well on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, 4:52 remaining in this game. The Bulldogs lead at 78-73, but CUC, they find their way to get things done when it is needed. They've stolen some momentum and kept things very interesting as Hill's floater, no good, gets his own rebound. Kicks it back out, Johnson for 3! No good, back iron, rebound into the hands of Logan. Lutz pulls it up, is met by two Cougar defenders able to control the ball a little bit, feeds it back out to Dallas. Dallas almost loses the handle, contains it. Double teamed here, Privet with the tight defense. Dallas driving in, gets the floater up and good. And I believe we are going to see a delay of game warning on Jaden Smiley. So just a warning at this point, but again, those warnings quickly become problematic if it happens again. So 4:06 to play now. Hill guarded by Dallas. Kicks it over to Lowry. Lowry thought about pulling for three. Instead, Hill ends up on this near side wing. Kicks it back up to Lowry. 12 on the shot clock. Lowry takes a screen from Garrett. Hill up top. Hill pulls for three. I believe it was rejected by Welch. Able to get a hand on it. Lutz coming down. Kicks it back out. Dallas here on the near side wing. Takes the screen from Smiley. Engaging in contact, up and no good. And the ball goes into the hands of Vic Garrett and A.J. Willard, but they're going to call the foul, I believe, on Jaden Smiley. And that's going to trigger the final media timeout of this game. But let's take a look here at what these two teams have upcoming after today. Cougars, this game is a little bit of a break for their normal conference play. They've been starting off conference play just a few weeks ago and successfully doing so. They're 3-0 in the NAC. They've picked up wins over Edgewood, Rockford, and Dominican so far this season. And then taking a quick break from the conference play for today's matchup. But looking ahead at what CUC's got on the docket, hosting Aurora this Wednesday, 7 p.m., again, before taking a little break from conference action. They'll be on the road to take on North Park University on Tuesday, December 30th, and that will be their final game of 2025. They'll be back in conference action and back at home on January 3rd to ring in the new year with some conference play. So a nice little schedule to round out the year for CUC. And taking a look at Adrian, they haven't started conference play yet. They've got just a shorter conference schedule in comparison to Concordia, the NAC, just a little bit of a larger conference overall. So haven't played any conference games yet. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they played at Dominican just yesterday where they were able to pull the 93-88 win. Obviously, they're playing here today, and then they're heading back to Michigan for a string of home games to close out 2025. They'll be playing Wilmington College on Wednesday, Bluffton University, the following Monday, and on New Year's Eve, they'll be playing a 2 p.m. game against Hiram College to round things out. And then they've got a nice little break. They're not playing in the new year until January 7th, where they host their first conference game of the year against Kalamazoo College. So have a little bit to go before they start conference play, but Willard able to make his first free throw here. Brings the Cougars within 6. Willard's second free throw is good. And brings the Cougars within 5 now. 3:27 to play. Double team here. Able to get through it, but met by, once again, another double team. And has that stripped away by A.J. Willard. Talis Lowry coming down. Up and no good. Ball batted around a little bit. The feed up and good for Carson Lutz. A nice feed from Seth Logan down the floor. 82-75 in favor of the Bulldogs. Here's Williams. Feeds it over to Lowry, just misses his hand. That's a turnover for CUC. Not what you're looking for in these final 3 minutes. Jeremiah Dallas bringing the ball down for Adrian. He cuts inside. Looks to kick it back out. Logan in the paint. Turnaround, mid-range jumper, no good. Garrett with the rebound. Lowry coming down quickly, met by Dallas. Pryor splits the defenders, looks to get it, but feeds it over to Garrett, whose pump fake and basket is good. 2:20 remaining. Logan back to Welch. The kick out Baseline drive from Lutz. Dallas guarded by Lowry. Pulling the ball back out is Jeremiah Dallas, feeds it over to Welch. Welch, a pull-up three is good! A big-time three for the Bulldogs, 85-77. Here's Lowry, guarded tightly by Dallas, and I believe they're going to call Dallas on the foul, the reach-around foul there. Defense is picking up intensely. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, both teams entering into the double bonus. So that's going to be 2 free throws here for Lowry. First free throw is good. Dallas Lowry having a perfect day from the charity stripe so far today. Lowry 5 for 5 from the charity stripe, looks to make it 6 for 6, and he does. Bringing him up to 20 points on the day. Rager coming down the floor now. Under 2 minutes to play, guarded tightly by Willard. A.J. Willard, arguably the most aggressive defender on this CUC squad. But Rager finds some space on the left side for the up and in. Willard, corner look, instead drives, takes the baseline, rejected by 2 defenders. Lowry with some space in the middle, kicks it back out. Yangwa now driving in, rejected once again. Kick outside. Lowry takes it in, up and good for 2. 87-81 as we near the final minutes. 1:05 to play. Here's Rager. Trying to waste some time here. Double team in the corner, Rager. And we're going to see the coaching staff for the Bulldogs call the timeout. 55.1 seconds remaining in this game, 14 on the shot clock. The Bulldogs trying to wind this clock down as much as possible. Cougars trail by 6. 55.1 seconds to go, and in the world of basketball, 55.1 seconds is a lifetime. There is a lot of game left to be played, and the Cougars settling in, figuring out what the game plan is here. We've seen the Cougar defense be aggressive. We've seen them make some great steals, pick the pockets, and get things translating quickly, and the key is to work quickly. Bulldogs, 14 seconds on the shot clock. We can anticipate that they're not going to be in any rush to use that shot clock as any earlier than they have to. Both teams, like I said, in the double bonus already, so any fouls guarantees 2 free throws. And at this point for CUC, 2 free throws is not really what you're looking for. A stack inbound here for the Bulldogs, fed into the backcourt. Looking for the double team, the feed up to Welch. Welch double teamed once again, and they're going to get the foul. Not sure if it was on Pryor or Guthrie. They're going to get Pryor for it. Pryor calling for the foul. That's going to be 2 shots for Welch. Welch 5 for 5 from the charity stripe himself. Having a great day as he misses his first one here. Call that the broadcaster's jinx. .49 seconds even left on the clock. .87-81 here. Second free throw is good from Welch. Full court pressure has dropped from the Bulldogs. Williams coming down quickly. He's taking advantage of the space. Looks to feed it back to Riker Johnson, but a little bit of a miscommunication from Johnson and Williams, and that ball ends up in the bleachers. Pryor and Guthrie checking back in, a little offense, defense action for CUC. Yangwa also checking back in. Looking to get a stop here. 41.8 seconds remaining. 88-81. Rager with the ball in the backcourt, looking for the double team, coming up on that near side. The feed up on into the corner. Crosses across the court. Bulldogs wasting as much of the clock as they can. The kick over to Logan. And finally, foul call. I believe Pryor is going to get called for this one again. It is Kenton Pryor getting called for the foul. Bulldogs did a nice job on spacing out the floor to make it difficult for the Cougars to be able to foul quickly. CUC was working the double team on the ball, which resulted in leaving a man open on the opposite side of the floor, and that's how the Bulldogs were essentially able to shave quite a bit of time off of the clock. CUC defense strong and able to trap where needed, but the Bulldogs were just able to get the pass across the court. So first free throw for Logan is good. 25.4 seconds remaining. Still plenty of time. Second free throw is good. 9-point lead for the Bulldogs. Full court pressure here from Adrian. Lowry feeds it up to Williams. Williams, shot clock officially off Williams. A little floater, no good. Rebound into the hands of Welch, but foul called. I believe Johnson might get called on this one. Indeed, it is Riker Johnson called for the foul. So 13.9 seconds remaining. A good look from Williams on the pull-up, but just could not quite get it to fall. And that's going to put Welch back at the line. He's 6 for 7 after his latest trip. First free throw here is good. Ten-point lead for the Bulldogs. And make that an 11-point lead. 13.9 seconds. Full court pressure from Adrian. Johnson feeds out to Williams. Williams for three. No good. Back iron. Riker Johnson able to get the rebound, though. Put back no good, but that's going to put Johnson at the line for two. A strong board from Riker Johnson. And they're going to get Carson Lutz for his fifth foul of the game. 4.4 seconds remaining. Riker Johnson here. Johnson's free throw no good. Riker Johnson, second free throw, rims in and out. And little back and forth here. Darius Welch, I believe he left early. Riker Johnson with the redemption shot. No good. Rebound goes into the hands of Smiley, and the clock is going to wind it down. 92-81. The Bulldogs walk away with the victory. Adrian College moves to 3-5 overall. CUC dropping to 4-5 overall. A hard-fought battle between these two teams. Let's take a look at these final stat lines. Tallis Lowry leading the way for CUC, 22 points. He was 8 for 10 from the field, a perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. Overall, a strong offensive performance for the sophomore. Following closely behind him was Riker Johnson, 16 points, shooting 6 for 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from deep. But on the defensive end, I mean, this Cougar team picking up blocks after block and steal after steal. Darion Williams, 2 blocks, 3 steals on the day. He had 3 assists with a total of 8 points, So a strong, well-balanced effort from both of these two teams. And taking a look at the CUC side of things, leading the way it was Darian Welch. 28 points, shot 8 for 11 from the field. He was a perfect 4 for 4 from 3. Went 8 for 9 from the charity stripe, had a total of 8 rebounds and 4 steals. Just a bit of an offensive menace against this CUC team. Some other notable stat lines here. Leading on the glass for the Bulldogs was Smiley, picking up 11 rebounds. Had 2 assists as well. So these two teams just absolutely going back and forth. It was nobody's game until those final few minutes. But the Bulldogs coming away with the victory. They take 2 wins out of River Forest in their trip to Illinois. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, CUC, they will be back at home on Wednesday as they host Aurora, resuming some conference play before heading out of town for their final game of 2025 to take on North Park on December 30th. But before we head out, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that made today's production possible, operating our shot clock, and our video replay was Alan Mateo, operating the scoreboard for us, Elliot Higgins doing the scoreboard for us, Sydney Pulaskis Lawher. In Stadium PA is the CUC Hall of Famer Jim Egan. Running stats for us was the Assistant Director of Athletic Communications, Corey Welch, and spotting stats for her was the Graduate Assistant for Athletic Communications, Sydney Lloyd. Our camera operators today, Tremaine Dockery, Abby Dykstra, and Grace King, and our 2 fabulous producers who were responsible for making today's production as beautiful as it was, Abby Coolig and Lindley Southern. And signing off for today, I'm Kayla McLeod. Thanks so much for spending your afternoon with us. We'll see you next time, and roll Cougs!
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.